Screw the intro, no one likes intros. So, yeah, I lead off with my Gliscor as he leads off with an Azalf. And I know this thing is gonna taunt me, so I just go straight for the U-turn, cause it will do super effective damage, and yeah, I'm able to switch out. And yeah, I decide to go into my Caesar, cause it carries a pursuit, and yeah, that will take out Azalf for sure. He U-turns, he gets a useless crit, as I pursued him. So yeah, the Azalf is going down, and that's great. Although, yeah, every Azalf goes down. Yeah, he switches into his fortress, knowing I'm locked into pursuit, and I can't do anything against this thing, so I switch back into my Gliscor. He sets up the first layer of toxic spikes, as I go for an earthquake. Kinda to scout how much an earthquake will do against this thing, but it doesn't do much. Although it is stabbed, and I have some EVs invested in attack. He goes for a gyro ball. It does slightly more than my earthquake did to him. So now I'm expecting a second layer of toxic spikes, and I taunt him, and it ends up being great for me because he did go for the toxic spikes again. I just set up my stealth rocks, knowing he'll have to rapid spin. As he goes for another gyro ball. At this point, I'm like in half of my hit points. So yeah, I know if this keeps on going, if I don't switch out, I will lose my Gliscor to this fortress. But still, I go for an earthquake. He rapid spins. He does like nothing. Of course, rapid spin never does anything. And now I go for the taunt again. I miscounted. I thought my taunt is gonna wear off this turn, but I end up being wrong, because yeah, the taunt wears off now, and I just U-turn out, as he goes for another rapid spin, I think. Oh no, he sets up the second layer of toxic spikes. Okay, that sucks for me. This thing is going down for sure against a choice carved fire blast. So he knows that, so he switches out into his Kingdra. And of course he eats fire blasts, since it is 4-time resisted. And I was expecting a Dragon Dance, and I was like, oh yeah, I can still be faster after a Dragon Dance, and I can kill this thing with Draco Meteor. But he goes for a raindance, and of course the raindance doubles his speed. So my Latias goes down to the outrage, and I know he's locked into an outrage, and I know that my Heatran can take one. So I switch into Heatran to take the second outrage, and at this point I was like, alright, you can stop, but it still keeps on going. But he gets a crit, so that explains the amount of damage he did to me. Now I go for a Dragon Pulse. Yeah, the Kingdra goes down to the Dragon Pulse, and that's great for me, because if Heatran wouldn't have been able to kill this thing, he would have swept my entire team. Okay, so we switched into Ludicolo, as I switch into Vaporeon to take the Surf. I do get badly poisoned, but yeah, he will end up being poisoned anyway, since I don't have a rapid spinner. Now I decide, basically, to see what move he's gonna go for, and he goes for an energy ball. It doesn't quite kill me, but it still does lots of damage. I went for a wish. I was kinda planning to stay in and heal back up with my Vaporeon, but yeah, I can't do that really. It would be useless. So I switch into my Caesar to take the energy ball that's coming, and after the wish, I will be at full health again, and I really don't mind getting a special defense drop anyway. So yeah, he decides to switch out and go back into his fortress, as I go for a U-turn, kinda to get the safe switch in, because I was thinking he was gonna switch out. And of course I'm going back into my Heatran, and of course he's going to switch out again, because yeah, my Heatran will rape this thing, and he switched into his Jolteon, because if you look at his team, it's actually the only thing besides Ludicolo that can take it, and he does live, but not with much hit points. And I was expecting a Thunderbolt, so I switched into my Gliscor because it's ground type, and he ends up going for a Thunder, which is actually kind of obvious considering he runs a raindance team. So now he's switching into his Bronzong to wall me out, but I just go for the U-turn, and I go back into my Heatran, of course, and he switches out, he goes back into his Jolteon, and the Fire Blast, it hits again. Yeah, and Jolteon goes down to the Fire Blast, so that's another threat that I killed. So he goes back into his Ludicolo, as I go back into the Scizor, and he sets up another Raindance. I did think that I was gonna live this Surf, since, yeah, Scizor is kinda bulky, but I end up being wrong, because the Raindance and the Step and the neutral damage, my Scizor goes down. So now I switch into my Gliscor, and I switch back into Vaporeon because I know things gonna Surf, because it's actually the only thing that he can do against Gliscor. And now I switch back into my Gliscor to take the Energy Ball. I do this because I really don't want to attack this thing while the Rain Dance is up, because I know he's going to be faster, and I know that every attack he throws at me will be able to take out my Pokemon. I can't switch into Heatran. I really don't want to switch into Heatran because it's the only thing I have left to counter Fortress and the Bronzong. I also have a Swords Dance Lucario, but I want to keep him if anything goes wrong with Heatran, so I can still have a backup. And yeah, now the Rain Dance stops, so it's safe to switch in my Heatran, and I go for the Fire Blast. And yeah, this thing goes down. So at this point, if Fire Blast keeps on hitting, it's good game. Because I know I'm going to be faster, and the first Fire Blast, it hits, it takes out the Fortress, and his last Pokemon he has left is a Bronzong, and I wasn't sure that the one Fire Blast would be able to KO this thing, but it is. So that's great for me, and that's actually kinda strange, but in a good way, of course, that Heatran's Fire Blast, it only has missed once, and that one time that it had missed, Heatran had killed like 3 Pokemon already. So that one time, it didn't really matter. Yeah, it was a good game. I had lots of fun. Be sure to read the description, and yeah, rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye.